So let's move on to the truth, yes, no, not given aspect of the question. Yeah, so we are still considering that passage talking about laughter. All right. So I understand that a lot of people have issue with yes, no, not given, true, false, not given. But it's one of the question that you can get everything. Honestly, it's one of the question type that is also very easy if you understand the principle. So because we have a lot of people who are just joining us again, I'm still going to run through probably as I attempt the questions, still talk about those things you need to keep at heart for yes, no, not given, true, false, not given. All right. So the question says, do the following statements agree with the claims of the writer in the reading passage 3? Don't forget, we are still considering Cambridge IELTS 15, test 2, and this is passage 3. Now, the answer to whatsoever you are looking for in question 37 to 40 is found in what I just highlighted now. It is yes. This statement is yes. The statement you're given in 37, 38, 39, 40 is yes. If the statement agrees with the claims of the writer. It is no if the statement contradicts. Now, if it agrees, it means the same meaning. It carries the same meaning as what the writer has said in the passage. Now, we are not looking for synonyms. We are looking for the same meaning, contextual meaning, okay? And no, if the statement contradicts, it is directly opposite. They mentioned it, okay, to the claim of the writer. And it is not given if it is impossible to say what the writer thinks about this. The writer didn't come out straight, even though that might be in his mind. But as far as we are concerned, in this passage that we're given, we don't have enough information to know what the writer thinks. That is yes, no, not given. It's all about the claims of the writer, what the writer thinks. Okay? Now, question 37 says that participants in Santa Cruz study were more accurate. So we have this Santa Cruz study were more accurate, more, once you see all these more adjectives and the likes, adverbs and all those things that can change the meaning of a word, you have to pay attention to them. Were more accurate at identifying the laughs of friends than those of strangers. Okay, so participants in Santa Cruz were more accurate at identifying the laughs of friends than those of strangers. Now, this statement will be yes if in this passage we find that under Santa Cruz study, they said participants were more accurate where they made more right guesses or predictions, identifying the laughs of friends than those of strangers. The statement will be no. For instance, if in this study it is the other way around, probably the participants were more accurate at identifying the laughs of strangers than friends. That would be a no, all right, because it contradicts what we have in the passage. And any other thing apart from these two will be not given. Okay, so let's look for Santa Cruz in this passage. This is San Diego. All right, so this is in paragraph 3. Oh, so were they more accurate? That's the question on our mind. In one study by Santa Cruz, you know we have read it, so you just need to look for what they said. On the average, let's look for it. Okay, so participants were asked whether they thought the people laughing were friends or strangers. Now, participants were asked, so this is where they mention friends, that's what you're looking for, or strangers, okay? Now, on the average, the results were remarkably consistent worldwide. People guesses were correct approximately 60% of the time. This is the only information we have about talking about strangers and friends. All right, so about that participants were more accurate about it. They didn't even talk about whatsoever they think about strangers or friends at all, leaving us with not given. It's very, very straightforward. This statement was not given. The writer never mentioned anything like this. It doesn't concern me. It's not a question of whether it is true or false or yes or no. This is not, absolutely not given. Okay? All right, so now, don't forget the rule again. Questions are always in order in yes, no, not given, true, false, not given. So looking for the other answers, I will have to come down. So I don't have anything to do with any information before question 37, where I found question 30, the answer to 37. Now, 38 says, the researchers in San Diego study were correct in their predictions regarding the behavior of high status individuals. Now, the researchers were correct, okay, in their guess or predictions regarding behavior of high status individuals. So I have San Diego here, okay. Now, did they mention about researchers being correct about their behaviors? So you need to answer that. We have read this passage before, okay. Honestly, there was nothing mentioned about that. They didn't mention about whether researchers made predictions at all. So let's look at it. Researchers have also found that different types, so this is what researchers have found, different types of laughter serve as code to complex human social hierarchies. Okay? We are looking for anywhere they mention researchers again. And where they talk about all the high and low individual, there was nothing about the researchers there. They were all about participants, okay? So we pay attention to that. Don't forget that the next paragraph is also about researchers, about San Diego. So you can see there was nothing mentioned about researchers at all, what they think about the study. So now someone we want to look and look and look and look and look and look. Once you can't find it, that is not given. Except you can find, except you've come across. I can't find anything that looks like it that can even complicate this passage at all. Okay, can't find anything. So I'll move on to the next question. I'm still going to give us opportunity to ask question, okay? Now, question 39 says the participants in the Australian National University study, so were given a fixed amount of time. Okay, so the major thing is whether they were given a fixed amount of time or they were given liberality to submit at any time to complete the task, focusing on employee. Now, this is all about employee profiles. So I'm going to look for where they talk about employee profiles and the Australian National University. Let me clear. I'll have to clear that. So, or move. Let me just move. Okay. So it's still the same study from, I saw Australian National University here, but it's still the same study that continued in this paragraph as well. So because I'm looking for the employee profiles, okay, this is where they talk about employee profile. So I don't waste my time reading all these. Okay. So regarding the employee profiles, let me now focus on that. Now, the student then completed a task requiring persistence in which they were asked to guess the potential performance of employees based on their provided profiles, and were told that making 10 correct assessments in a row would lead to a win. However, the software was programmed such that it was nearly impossible to achieve 10 blah, blah, blah. Participants were allowed to quit the task at any point. So students who had watched the Mr. Bean video ended up spending significantly more time working on the task, making twice as many predictions as the two groups. I want you to answer this question.
No.
Oh,
The answer is no.
no, no.
Okay. So, all right. Yeah, if you have to put in any other answer, just send it as a chat. Okay. People have said no. All right. Now, what do we know from the passage? Were they given a fixed amount of time to complete the task? Now, there was no.
They were given liberal.
Yeah, there wasn't a direct. So don't forget, at times there are implied meaning, because the only thing they talk about here was that let's look for it. Participants were allowed to quit the task at any point. You don't give people time, and it's even possible for them to quit the tax now. And there was also a point here that talked about those who watch Mr. Bean spending significantly more time working on the task. Okay, that's the only thing they talk about that. So like they have all the time to bring in their answers. The only thing they talk about here was that these people spend more time, significantly more time working on the task, okay, than the other groups. So the answer is no. The answer is not given, okay, because there is an implied meaning to tell us that these people have the time to. The major thing is that they were going to quit before the time, before 24 hours or thereabout. The way they have structured it, it is impossible for them to achieve to win, but their persistence is going to be tested, okay, over time. That is what the whole thing is all about. And who have watched a comedy, Mr. Bean, they ended up doing more on that, okay, spending more time than the other people. All right. So you have to be careful of that as well. And then the last one talk about Cheng, and this must be Chinese something. So these people conclusion were in line with established notions regarding tax performance. Once I see some conclusions, usually conclusion is always at the end, okay? So, but then this was where they mentioned the first name, all right? So, but I'm likely going to find my answers around here. It's a conclusion. They usually don't write conclusion here, okay? But if it happens, this is IELTS, just find your answer. All right. So the question is, was their conclusion in line with the established notion? Probably established notion could mean popular view, popular perceptions of people, okay, regarding tax performance. So this is tax performance. So the view of people, traditional view, traditional view, okay? So although humor has been found to help relieve stress and facilitate social relationships, The traditional view of tax performance implies that individuals should avoid things such as humor. Okay, so traditionally, people say you should avoid things such as humor because it may end up distracting you from accomplishing the task. Okay, but what they find out is that it is in a way contrary, all right? Because we suggest that humor is not only enjoyable but more importantly energizing, help people in this case to complete the set task. Okay, so what is this? What's the answer to this one?
No.
It is a no.
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 Because the statement completely contradicts, we're in line. Were in line. This is what spoiled it. So their conclusion was not in line with this traditional view of tax performance. Okay, so we have not given, no, no. Okay, all right. Is there any question so far?
Sir, is it possible not to have yes at all?
As you can see in this question, there is no yes. It's not me. Yeah, as you can see, so everything is possible. So what that means is that you can even have not given everything, but they haven't come like that before, okay? But as you can see here, we have 2 not giving and we have 2 no's, no yes at all. All right, so, all right. Strange, but those are the answers as we could prove from the passage. All right, because of our time, once again, I'm going to end the meeting. I don't know how much time we have. Probably it will be enough to look at paragraph information. Okay, sorry for all the going back and forth, but I believe it's for the good of every one of us.